What you're looking at right here is Justin Welsh $1.6 million launch and the full breakdown of it. He ended up having a $1.6 million course launch, which is quite insane without running no paid ads. He had 2.8 thousand purchases. And yeah, we're going to break through everything and look at how were you able to do this. And right now he has a $10 million solo business. And if you want to read more from Justin himself, you can check out his newsletter right here. He doesn't break down the exact funnel that I break down, but he talks about it and also his $10 million journey. So yeah, let's start from the beginning here. So this is Justin, and he had this thought. What if I share everything I learned about building an online business and gave others the blueprint to monetize their knowledge too? And Justin had at that time 731,000 followers and 500,000 on X. So he had a big audience. But I want to say that his approach could actually work for everyone because it's quite genius how he did it. So yeah, he had this LinkedIn post where he wrote, if you're excited for the launch, share the post with your network and follow me, Justin Welsh, for 2 times daily content at 8:15 a.m. and 11:15 p.m. Eastern European time. And you can see he has quite some likes, he has quite some reach. And when people clicked on this post, they got to this page. And this is where some of the most genius ways to actually build a waitlist is happening. So his page was hosted on Kajabi, and he had this question here. What are you primarily looking for my help with? And people can choose from growing my audience, because obviously he has a big LinkedIn audience, or growing my online business. And what he's doing here is gathering data. And he's using something called RightMessage, where he can actually segment what people or the data he gets. And 18,000 people ended up on the waitlist and actually answered these questions. Here's a post. Once upon a time, you had a job, and he's posting a lot. He has a newsletter where he posts for a long time building up the waitlist. I think he posted for 4, 5, or 6 months even. Yeah, and he got a lot of signups, 18,000 people. And he used also Kit, where he got the name and the email after they clicked this. And he also had a survey afterwards. And this was the start of the Creator MBA. When you sign up, you got this email. Thanks for joining the waitlist for Creator MBA. And he had this genius way of gathering even more data, where he asked, mind sparing 15 seconds to tell me about you're hoping to learn. And this is the founder of RightMessage, which they use to actually gather data and also segment the data. So Justin and I like to think that they had a talk, and yeah, they agreed on this way of doing it. So here you can see the questions. First, they were asked, what stage is your business in? And people could choose from not started, side hustle to full time. And then also, how do you currently make money? If you answer that you're having a business, and that's from coaching, courses, or software. And this went into, or this was RightMessage, where they asked the questions, which was sent to Kit, where he's having his email campaigns and so on. And 86% of people actually went from just joining the waitlist and answering this question to filling out these questions. So he's getting a lot of data, 50,000 people. And then what happened then? So he's segmenting people. He's getting people who has a 9 to 5 right now, side hustlers, coaches, beginners, and they all have different questions, problems, needs, and so on. And here is the product behind the curtains. And I will give Peter, my co-founder, some credits here, because he made the design. He's a lot more creative than I am. Okay. And he's sharing all his lessons from the build, the mistakes, discovery, frameworks, and wins. And then he lets them in. And you have the full-timers. When you already got income, the next step, the next leap isn't hustle, it's systems. Are you there yet? And then he's targeting the side hustlers. I remember juggling a 9 to 5 while starting out. What's been the hardest part for you? So he's asking questions, he's getting pain points. And then he sees people want a community. And the community generating additional $280,000 in the launch revenue. And yeah, I believe a lot of people are going to be very happy with the price. And he all this time, he's building trust, he's building excitement. And then in January 16 of 2024, he sends out an email here. And it's the 6-day email sales sequence where he sends out one per day. And here you can have a look at 4 of those emails. And he has an insane open rate, as you can see here, and also very high click-through rate and very low unsubscribe rate, considering how many people are receiving these emails. And yeah, here you can see a screenshot from Justin himself of how he segments his email, and he's actually sharing a bit about this here. So let's have a look at the days here. So day 1, the announcement. And here he has the big reveal. The Creator MBA is now live. And yeah, it's quite some different paths to go here, but yeah. And here he's actually releasing how it looks, and also giving a big discount, as you can see, from $897, and now it's for $549. So it's actually having a lot of scarcity around it. And one additional thing he does is that he has a limited group for 5 people for one-to-one, and it's only available this week. So it's creating even more scarcity. And then having a checkout, and if people go to checkout and yeah, they're not checking out, then he's actually sending them to day 2. So this is the genius way. So on the day 1, he launches it, and a lot of people buy. They're obviously exited from the rest of the sequence. And then 24 hours later, if they're not ready, they go into day 2, which is the social proof and questions and answers. And here he builds credibility. And he does it in this way. This is the system I use to go from $2,000 to 500K followers and $5 million in income. And he has a lot of testimonials. Common questions or objections were addressed in the questions and answers. And then over to day 3, where he segmented the use case spotlight. So based on what they answered in the beginning over here, so if you answer that you just started out, then he's targeting them with a specific email. You don't need an audience to begin. And for side hustlers, how to quit your job in 2024. And for the full-time business owners, how to scale or diversifying your income. And it's a very important principle in marketing, and that is that you have to talk to one specific person with one specific outcome. And he's doing this here because he's segmenting his data. And when you have a big following, I would always ask myself the questions, how can I sell to as many of those people as possible, and also be specific? Because if you're not specific, if you have just one email, you will lose a lot of customers. And everybody goes over to the CTA to enroll in the course, and of course to checkout, and if no, they're getting to day 4. And yeah, here is going over subscribers' primary income or source of income. So he's still using the segmented data. And if you're a coach consultant, he will use the SCAPE, the one-to-one coaching, product owners, their expertise, course creator, he'll have a different outcome, and the same for software or software founders. And specific outcomes most relevant to the subscriber's business model. So same but different. Different stories, different hooks, customized language. And this leads us over to day 5. He's still peppering his audience, his email list. And here he's addressing any lingering objections. Is it worth the money? Student success. Remind the subscriber of the expiring incentives. So yeah, he's having a lot of scarcity around the offer. Then over to day 6, where is the final day urgency. And here he has last chance before doors is closing. Already 2,500 students enrolled. 4 hours before the cart close is commenting, is engaging. And then he's showing more results. which is crazy. This is the full launch, $1.6 million in revenue, no paid ads, 95% profit. So yeah, this was the whole key here, running personalized data. And here is Peter, the creative, my creative co-founder, has created this AI picture with Justin Welsh and the founder of RightMessage. They really nailed the email sequence and the segmenting. And one additional thing they ended up doing is having their own landing page for course creators, coaches and consultants, and full-time business owners. So you can see, same offer, same product, but 3 different landing pages, so it feels specific. If I'm a course creator and I land here, then I feel targeted. This is what I want. I want a lean, profitable online course business in 2024. And the same for the coaches and the consultants. I want a lean, profitable internet business in 2024. And because he were so specific, he segmented the data, he were able to have this big launch. You could argue if 1/3 of the audience were course creator, 1/3 coaches and consultants. I'm not saying it was, but let's say it were, then you will only get 1/3 of the sales in if you only choose one. So yeah, very, very important here. What we didn't want was for you to get a personalized email and then get to the web page and it's just one size fits all. So they segmented everything. Everything was specific. The copy, the landing pages, the emails, and so on. Only because they were really, really smart in the beginning, asking questions, personalized questions. You should always get data from your target audience. And yeah, this is the landing page beneath this. And I won't go into too much, but this is a breakdown, the outcome, target audience, testimonials, CTA, and additional testimonials. He used a lot of testimonials. And this is the whole breakdown. And as I talked about in the beginning, total sales 1.6 million. And he has now sold for $10 million over the past 5 years from a solo business, super, super high profit margins, which is a great thing about info products. And I know he also does some coaching and so on. And you can actually see the breakdown of his business. Where was it? Okay, I lost track, but I thought it was here, but no, I saw it somewhere else. And I think it's like 75% of his revenue comes from his courses. So yeah, this is his tech stack. You use Kajabi for hosting the course and the landing pages, Kit for email sequences, and so on, and RightMessage, and LinkedIn, Zapier, and X. So it's actually not the hardest, the most difficult to replicate. It seems like a lot of stuff, but if you just follow Justin Welsh's process and his tech stack, you can do it yourself. And yeah, that's basically the full breakdown for this video. Let me know if you want me to break down some other funnels, and I will happily do so.